Now let's start working with sigma notation, and this is the Greek letter sigma right here, and sigma is the letter S in Greek. So we're just looking for the sum of a few terms, in this case 4 terms, because we're going from x equals 1 all the way up to x equals 4 for this function, which is 3x. So what does this represent? Very simple. We're just going to go 3 times 1 plus 3 times 2 plus 3 times 3 plus 3 times 4. So as you can see here, that's just the last term, right? That we're just plugging in 4 for x, and this was the x was our first term here. Great. So that's what sigma, this whole notation here, represents. We're just going to add up all these terms. So this would be 3 plus 6 plus 9 plus 12. I won't even do the sum formula for this because it's just a little bit too simple. So 3 plus 6, 9 plus 9, 18 plus 12, 30. So that is, the whole thing here is equal to 30. What about question number 2? Now we have, okay, x is starting once again at 1, and it's going all the way up to 7. So this means that we're starting with x equals 1. That's the first term. And we're going to have 3 times 2 minus 1. And that is the second term. So I'm going to call this a, a2. Then we're adding all the way up to 3 times 7 minus 1. And that is the last term. In this case, a7. And how do I know that that's the 7th term? It's easy to assume that whatever that number is, that's the last term, but be careful, because if x, or whatever variable we have here, is not 1, then that number will not be the last. So how do we make sure? N is always going to be the top number minus the bottom number plus 1. So in this case, 7. So as long as that's 1, that is the last term. So now let's figure out what a was. So a is just going to be 3 times 1, 3 minus 1, 2. What about a2? a2 would be just 6 minus 1, 5. Because 3 times 2 is 6, minus 1, 5. And a7, that'd be 3 times 7, 21, minus 1, 20. Okay, do we have enough information to do our Sn formula? I think so. Sn is n over 2. Actually, let me write down the whole formula here. So n over 2 times a plus an. Okay, so we have our n is 7, our a is 2, and an is just 20. So here we have 7 over 2 times 22. 22 divided by 2 is just 11. We can do that. And 7 times 11, 77. So this whole thing here is just equal to 77. That's it. Now, I would recommend that you try quite a few questions. Take a look at a few more videos, just so you're very clear on sigma notation, because it can be tricky at first, but once you get some practice, you should become pretty confident. Good luck.